What's going on, guys? Alex7 here, and I'm finally back in France. This is my first, I guess, YouTube video from my France setup, which literally is still under construction. I don't have any monitors. I'm running this off my laptop. I did bring my PC over. However, I still need to get some monitors, fix it up. But my camera's here, got my lighting, the same mic. We got all of it here in France, finally. So now I can get to videos. I'm gonna try and go daily. We'll see how I can do. I apologize, my voice is a little bit gone. We had Big Ben week last week for the con. We revealed some Revosim, we showed off some prototypes, Endurance Motorsport series, and you know, I can finally get to show you guys all that content coming this week as well. So first video back daily, we have to start it off with, of course, none other than the May Solar Club Letter. Guys, let me give you some behind the scenes on that, you know, the future, what I'm going to work on and all that. So let's get into the May 2025 Solar Club Letter for TDUSC. Let's go. Okay, so the May 2025 Solar Club Letter. Now guys, the Solar Club Letter was a thing, if you don't know already, that we started, well I say we, by the time I wasn't there, but it was started to give news information during the pre-release of Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. It was a little bit inconsistent, and you know, I think that definitely worried the fans a bit. It didn't give them enough, I guess, happiness through that as well. And I realized that obviously going in between seasons, we have one updated season at the moment, so maybe we can change in the future. It would be very nice if we could. But with that being said, the Solar Club Letter, I think, is a way that I will bring it back monthly, guaranteed monthly, by the way. I promise you guys that, you know. But when I bring it monthly, I want to fill that gap of content, you know, give you guys behind the scenes, news and stuff like that. So I gave a lot of information in this letter, which you'll be like, okay, bro, I see, but you're gonna see that you're gonna be like, okay, bro, hold on, but the actual update isn't going to happen until July. Well, that may be true, but I still haven't given you guys a lot of what is going to come in season 4 in this newsletter, and there's a lot still to uncover. And next month, I'm also going to discuss with you guys maybe the dev diary behind the scenes, showing you and teasing what you could be seeing in the dev diary. But the point is, the whole Solar Club Letter is meant to bring you guys information not just about the game, but the marketing aspect of it as well. So let's get started. Solar Club Letter returns. Learn what Kate's in the corner up to on behind the scenes, as I just said. We're bringing the Solar Club. We are bringing back these Solar Club Letters. We'll bring these monthly and give you feedback on updates on what we are working on, not only on the development of the game, but of course the communication marketing aspects of it as well. So in this letter, we go over what's new, current feedbacks, Season 4 teases, and of course the developer diary as well for you guys. So what's new? Let's see, Season 3 launched in March. You guys know that. It was a long awaited change of direction for the game in terms of where TDUSC might have been going to where we now want TDUSC to go, which is the whole TDU DNA, you know, bring back the glory days to the whole TDU franchise. Moving on though, so you guys can see, talk about we're working on the casino now. We delivered car delivery missions, navigation races in the last season, and moving on, community manager Alex VI, it's a shameless plug there. I was working on more ways to involve the community in the game's future too, one of which will be announced in the dev diary. Now, this is quite interesting, and I'll recap it again in this letter. But moving on, we also brought back the community highlight series, so if you guys do join the Discord, I'll link that below. Join over to the Discord and post your screenshots with your friends, whatever it may be, in TDUSC photos, and I'll feature you in maybe the community's highlight series on our social media or in the actual dev letter that I create every month. So you can see here we got Boschel84 with his new purchase of the Ferrari F40, and we got Davo654 with a beautiful lined up I believe it was a sunset picture that he got here. Moving on though, let's take a look at the current feedbacks and what we're going to be improving for TDUSC. So the economy. Now the economy is literally a big topic of conversation in TDUSC. You know, and I do regret that last time we did nerf way to Camp Bernat, and honestly, I'll tell you guys from my opinion, we shouldn't have done that anyways. You know, it was a bad move. You can't really touch the economy. It's a touchy subject, especially when you haven't done anything to fix it anyways. So that being said, now we're going to act on it and we're going to do good by it. So let's take a look at what we have to say about the economy. Now, we've taken a lot of feedback about it. So for Season 4, there are a couple things we're going to do. First off, we will not be nerfing any races in TDUSC Season 4 at all, and most likely we won't be nerfing any of the future races either. Of course, depending if, you know, we accidentally somehow make a race that gives you 5 million every 30 seconds, of course we're going to have to change that. However, with that being said, any of the current content we have, no more nerfs. We're done with that. We're not doing that again. That being said, a current 20% bonus payout, which is applied to delivery missions and navigation races. Normally at the end of every season, that new content that got the bonus, that bonus gets removed, which is why, for example, Ibiza races pay less than they did in season 2. So for season 4, we will not be removing that 20% bonus because that would be nerfing. So we're not going to remove that bonus at all, which is definitely a first step in the right direction. Next thing we're going to do is any new events, which tease, maybe there will be some new content for you guys, that will have a 20% bonus applied to it. So we're still going to apply the 20% bonus to that new race content. Now, moving on though, of course, you also heard about some player complaints regarding the duration of the Solar Pass in the Season 3. The Season Pass was a bit too grindy, so we're going to be fixing that in Season 4. And we're going to be increasing the XP income from those daily challenges as well, just to help prevent this current longer grind on the Solar Pass. And it's also worth noting that 20% bonus that I mentioned to you guys, by the way, is not going to be applied in the casino itself, but any events that were added outside of the casino, yes, you're going to get that 20% bonus. Moving on, so while this is a small step in improving the economy, we have a much more vast economic improvement scheduled for Season 5 based on direct community feedback. Now, this could be things like increasing the price of races, the crown jewels, so much more. And in the dev diary, we will go into more detail about this for you guys. But and I know, you're saying, yo, why can't you do this all for Season 4? I do understand that, but the thing is, the whole economy, you have to QA test it, to look into it. We don't want to do it to just be like, okay, apply 20% bonus to all races and it's good. Because that doesn't fix the issue. The current issue is that races aren't scaled by actual time it takes to complete them. So if we added 20% bonus, it wouldn't actually fix the core issue at hand with the races in TDUSC. We have to look into all the races, look at the time, scale it properly, figure, okay, crown jewels should be paying more. Because if we just added the 20% bonus, it wouldn't make sense to do the crown jewels still. So you guys, I think you understand where I'm going here, but trust me, Season 5, we will have a much more vast improvement to the economy for you guys, and that will be launching at the same time as the KT engine upgrade. And of course, beyond that, something very, very special, which again, dev diary, I definitely can't reveal that to you guys. But let's move on to sounds now. Now, you guys know sounds is something very important in test drive Limited Solar Crown, and many of you have praised the sounds, but that doesn't mean it's perfect. With that being said, there's still work to be done, and we did have a recent survey asking you guys what you want to see in terms of improvements. From that survey, by the way, you had the V12s, which took the top 3 voted in what you want to see improved on sounds. It was in no order, because I can't remember the actual order of the top 3, but it was the Apollo IE, the Diablo V12, and the other V12, which I should be SVJ Lamborghini. There we go. Now, those are the 3 cars that were literally voted top 3. And in the dev diary, we're going to go into more detail about the sound improvements, what we're going to work on, how we're going to do it. But don't forget, we are a small team, so we can't just fix every single request within one season. But rest assured, throughout the coming seasons, you guys will see more improvements, not only just to the sound of the vehicles, but also sound in other areas too. Moving on, the performance and graphics optimization. Now, you guys know, and I have TDUSC on PS5 because when I came to France, I didn't have my PC. I was like, okay, let me buy a PS5 and hop on TDUSC, see how it plays. And I do notice a lot of stuttering. And now that I can play the PS5, I can understand where you guys come from. Now, the game does look good. It's almost like PC, where I can say that it definitely has some really nice, good-looking moments, but sometimes it gets held back by the stuttering to the point where I'm like, okay, bro, come on, man. It's a bit sad to see. And I just want to say, you guys can tell I haven't not changed. Even though I'm community manager, I will still critique the game. It's just part of, I don't know. Anyways, let's move on. So in Season 5, we are going to be doing some improvements. We have some work on rendering and optimization, lighting improvements, water surfaces, and ocean floors. Now, I know someone said, this ocean floors, what is that supposed to mean anything? Well, the thing is, with ocean floors, it's how the reflection and actually the waves, I guess you say, per se, work on the ground. I probably should have been more specific there, but it's basically how water works overall in the game. We have shadow management, cockpit lighting improvements, and of course network stability going along with the KT engine there. Now this won't be the end of us working on the engine and the game's performance, graphics, etc. guys. As the seasons go on, not just in season 5, but 6, 7, 8, and 9, going to year 3 as well, we will continue evolving how this game plays, its graphics, its optimization. We'll continue improving that as time goes on. We're not going to end off this game, we're not going to be like, okay, season 5, there. Not going to touch the engine again. We'll keep doing it. Now, my next favorite area of the letter is the vehicle distribution, because this is a well-needed change that came directly from you guys. Now, it's another topic in season 3 that came up when we had the Aston Martin Velour, and honestly, I feel it with you guys. One of the literally the only game to have the Aston Martin Velour. However, you couldn't drive it. We marketed it in the trailer, which, I totally understand you guys on that. So that being said, we have changed how this all works entirely. Not just for the ranked reward vehicle, but the solar pass too. So let's get straight into this section of the letter. Now, this new vehicle distribution system for the ranked vehicle reward takes place season 4. So how it works is that the Aston Martin Velour, if you did get solo court this season, then you get the vehicle for free in season 4. However, that is the last time you will ever be able to get a ranked car from your season. So that being said, at the start of season 4, you will have a surplus of vehicles being added to the game, because it's basically all the ranked vehicles catching up. So the Aston Martin Velour will be in the dealership day 1, season 4 that you can purchase. So you don't need to grind. Personally, I'm not going to grind ranked anymore because there's no need at this point. You have the Bugatti Chiron Super Sport 300 Plus appearing in the dealership as well, day 1. And then you have the season 4 vehicle, which this is what was going to be the ranked reward vehicle. However, because we're removing how ranks works and the rewards that are given, guess what? This car now goes straight into the dealership, which you'll have to guess. I know some people looked at the little spoiler ledge at the back of this, and looking at that, you might be able to guess it. You can tell it's a convertible because the roof clearly is pretty much down. You're in sunny Ibiza, and I'll let you guys guess the rest, because one thing I will not do in my videos, unfortunately, is guess what the actual vehicle model, because I basically know what it is. I took the picture, and you know what I mean? So can you guess the picture above? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, we're also reworking the vehicle distribution in the Solar Pass. I can give you guys a little bit of tease on that. So at the moment, it's 2 vehicles. Obviously, how it worked is that if you buy the Solar Pass, you get that level 50 reward vehicle at the beginning of the actual Solar Pass. You grinded out basically all your levels, and there was a paid vehicle in the middle of the Solar Pass. Now we're changing it so there's an additional car in the Solar Pass for the paid version. But in the dev diary, we will go over in detail exactly how it works, also the price of the Solar Pass, etc., etc. So, of course, you will have 3 cars in the Solar Pass though. Let's go over to season 4 teases though, because this is also a pretty big letter about teases. Now, the long-awaited casino is coming in season 4, and one of the reasons that we had to delay it until July is we're improving the networking, and unfortunately this does not mean cross-region cross-play, but it does mean something else, and we will discuss cross-region and cross-play in the dev diary as well, guys. We'll give you hopefully a little bit of update in terms of our next steps on that. But the thing is, the casino has changed a lot, and this isn't just the casino, but this is basically the overall approach to TDUSC moving forward. You may have noticed, you remember the parking lane holographics, you might remember those meeting points, the little beams that shot up in the air, the beams of light. There are a lot of things that we've been changing on Hong Kong Island, and kind of going back to this more realistic roots. Now, as you guys can see, here is the concept art of the casino. You can tell it's definitely more of that futuristic vibe that we had when the game first launched, but we changed it a lot. So I'll scroll down, you guys can see what they look like. And now we went for a lot more realistic. Take a look at these screenshots here. Wintry Casino, first thing. So obviously, I'll let your minds go wild with that. Got slot machines here, so slot machines will be happening day 1 in the casino. Very nice to see. So season 4 work in progress. Look at the lighting. Honestly, guys, I love when I saw the casino. I was very happy that Kiloton did this new art direction. It's definitely a lot more homey, this vibe that we get. So we got the bar here, got a clothing store as well. And the clothing store like this is what I want from Test Drive, bro. Walkable clothing stores that look, not realistic. Sorry, not futuristic is what I meant to say, but realistic. As if I'm actually immersed in the game. You can't really feel as immersed in some futuristic vibe, but if you have a connection with this realistic feeling, it's a lot easier to be immersed into the game. And take a look at the car parts store in the casino as well. Now, I'm not going to go into more details about what they'll sell or whatever, but obviously a clothing store and car parts store. What could you possibly sell in those? That being said, got that. We got a tease of the casino car in season 4. So right now I showed you the Valor, I showed you the Bugatti 300 Plus. We got the season 4 vehicle tease, and we have the, I almost said it. We have the season 4 casino car tease, and will also have 3 cars in Soul Pass. So it is a stacked car season, to be fair with you. But it's not going to be like that, because remember, the next season we won't have ranked cars to catch up this season anyways. So quite a few cars for you to purchase and grind out on this time around. So I did go on to mention that this is a more realistic approach in terms of design that we got, and we think that this is something TD fans will enjoy a lot more. And funnily enough, I saw a lot of your comments on Twitter, Discord, Reddit, and a lot of you are very happy with the changes to the casino. So that being said, I also wanted to go on and say that not all of the casino features will be available day 1, and at the season 4 patch, we will be introducing another game mode into the casino as well. Again, we do apologize, but we don't want to rush the whole season. I think this being able to split in terms of the workload on the different things that we will have in the season. And don't forget, some seasons we will have everything day 1, some we will produce it halfway through the season. But as the dev diary comes on, we'll discuss this in more detail for you guys as well. Moving on though, so beyond the casino, you'll find an array of quality of life improvements and features, bug fixes. One of the most important ones that the community has been asking for is being able to turn off all the HUD, the voice chat. A lot of you guys hated that voice chat showing up on the screen, but you can now turn it off and you can drive just like this with no HUD. So rejoice, that's a quality of life per se. Next, moving on, I say we have much more to share with you in the coming weeks leading up to July Season 4. We're excited to continue bringing the improvements of Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Now, there are still other things coming in Season 4, guys. It's not just the casino and removing your HUD. For example, the transmission being able to hang. Some of you might notice that bug that is currently available. It's very noticeable on the Dodge Viper, I think, and some other vehicles as well, but I'm pretty sure it applies to most, if not all, cars. Basically, when you're revving the car, it comes up and it stalls. You'll still increase speed, but the rev will stay at the exact. It's like a launch control while you're still accelerating. It's very weird. It fixed that. So that's one thing that we've done. Let's move on to the developer diary as well. So the next big communication is the dev diary coming in July. Of course, you'll have the monthly dev letter in June as well, but July is when you're going to be seeing the dev diary. Now, it's going to go over Season 4 and Year 2. It's going to tease you some new vehicles. It's going to talk about, the most important topics that the community have brought up. It's basically, well, at least from my eyes, it's what I want to show you guys what the future of Test Drive is going to be over the next year, and also just, how much we care about the game, because it sucks, man. I feel you guys, it was a disappointing launch, but we are here to stay. We're here to fix the game. And honestly, really excited to show you guys that dev diary. Really excited. Moving on though, I did also mention a picture here, which you gotta be able to figure this one out. I can't tease you guys, because in my Google Doc notes, I literally said, picture of this, but don't say anything about it. So I just delivered you a picture, and unfortunately I did edit this photo in Photoshop, so we are not improving the photo mode in Season 4, but I know delivery editor and photo mode and maybe even camera editor at some point is something you guys want to see in the future of TDUSC. But that said, there's something off about this picture. It doesn't take you long to notice it. I'll leave it at that. But our final message, I hope you guys enjoyed Season 3, and continue to send your feedback in the comment section of this Steam post, on our social media. Let us know. We are listening, guys. This is a passion project, and I'm really happy, the amount of freedom that KT and Nakan have really been able to give me as well, in terms of, the marketing, in terms of, the decision on what the community wants to see as important, how features should be implemented per se. There's a lot, and a huge credit to them. We're not giving up on TDUSC, and I hope you guys will be able to see that throughout the next coming weeks, months, seasons and throughout the next year as well. And beyond that as well, because I really want to tease a little bit of year 3 in the Dev Diary, you know, a little bit of the future of TDUSC Solar Crown, what we're going to do after year 2 when we come to that. And of course, you know, I think we're going to keep doing these letters, as I mentioned, the diaries I want to keep doing as well. And, you know, I'm really excited. And, you know, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on this video, guys. I think I took up a lot of your time on this video, but daily videos are back. And huge shout out to Bryson and all the other EU players who helped me get this gameplay in the beginning of the video as well. And let's just switch to the gameplay again really quickly. So yeah, honestly, bro, huge shout out to the EU team, the servers, the cruises. You know, I don't know if I can stream from this laptop. I might be able to, but you know, I'm gonna see if I can also do some stuff at work on the official channels as well. You know, get some streaming vibe into it. But honestly, I'm really excited, guys. You know, I left a very well-paying aerospace job for the hopes that, you know, I'll be able to work on my childhood game and see it improve. And I think it's really on the right direction. Not I think, to be honest. I know. I've seen the year 2 roadmap. I know what our next steps are and plans are. And huge shout out to KTs and especially Nakan as well for you know, not giving up, bro. It's a long road ahead, but honestly, I think it's an exciting one. You know, I really want this to be next No Man's Sky, which is a big thing to say, but honestly, I think it's possible. If you set your mind to it, honestly, you can achieve a lot in life. And that being said, I think KT and Nakan know that, and we're going to try everything we can to bring this back to the TDU glory days, you know, make it so. I'm Max7, and I'll see you guys in another video. I'm out, guys. Oh, it feels so good to do this again, bro. I miss making videos. Peace, guys.